All right, so let's get this deep dive started. Today, we're going to be talking about something really fascinating in the Bitcoin world. And, you're into this whole idea of Bitcoin for financial freedom and security, right? And you've even asked about how people can safeguard their Bitcoin wealth when things get a bit uncertain.
Yeah, it's a really interesting area.
So get this, we're about to unpack this whole concept of Trithemian seeds, and it's a wild ride.
Yeah. Just imagine, you need to protect your life savings,
Hmm.
but banks are off the table, borders are closed, even your own home isn't safe. And that's the scenario that this article kind of lays out. And it's interesting because that's where Bitcoin, even with all its tech advantages, has a real challenge.
Okay, wait, hold on. Back up for a sec because that already sounds crazy. But I'm intrigued. So where does this, what did you call it, Trithemian seeds, where does that fit in?
So the article, it starts with this story about the author's grandfather, Ye, back in 1930s China. And he was a really wealthy merchant, but things were getting politically messy. And for like generations in that situation, people turned to gold, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Tangible, valuable, hittable. You get it.
Yeah, so like stashing gold bars under the floorboard.
You got it. Yeah. And that's exactly what they did. The author's family, they had this whole secret compartment for all their gold and silver, even burying some under those floorboards just in case.
Wow.
But here's the catch. Gold, well, it's heavy and it's hard to move, and if you got to flee, it kind of screams, "Look at me, I'm valuable!"
Yeah, not exactly subtle. So that's where Bitcoin comes in, the digital knight in shining armor.
Boom. Exactly. Bitcoin is digital, it's easy to transfer, and all you need is a set of words, like a secret phrase, a seed phrase, to unlock it anywhere in the world. It's like carrying your fortune in your head. No heavy lifting required.
That is amazing, but okay, wait. I see the problem here. Remembering a string of random words under pressure, that is a tough one.
Yep.
Plus, what if someone forces you to tell them?
And that's what makes Trithemian seeds so ingenious. It takes that seed phrase and it hides it in plain sight, disguises it as something totally ordinary.
Hold up, hiding in plain sight. Now you've really lost me. Break that down for me.
Okay, so what if, instead of random words on a piece of paper that could be easily found, your seed phrase was part of a story, or even a poem, or a letter?
That actually reminds me of, like, back in school learning about invisible ink and hidden messages. We used to use lemon juice to write messages, and then you could only see it if you held it over a heat source.
Yes, that's exactly it. That's called steganography, this ancient art of hiding messages so well no one even knows they're there. The article mentions revolutionaries using invisible ink, spies with microdots, even hiding stuff in images. It's wild.
That's so cool. Okay, so we're taking that idea and, wait, we're applying to the Bitcoin. Okay, I'm in. Tell me everything.
That is Trithemian seeds. In a nutshell, it's brilliant. The article explains it perfectly. Imagine you have to escape across a border, but instead of gold, all you've got is a simple notebook. And inside,
Yeah.
just a short story, nothing special, right?
Right.
But that story, woven within those words, is your Bitcoin seed phrase, your entire life savings, hidden in plain sight.
Whoa, okay, my mind is officially blown.
Low.
So is this like a secret treasure map hidden in plain sight? But how do you actually put the seed phrase into the story?
Right. So the article talks about a few ways to do it. One is you link your seed phrase to specific numbers, but you hide those numbers in plain sight, like phone numbers in your notebook.
All right.
Let's say you mentioned your lucky number is 555-123-4567.
Right.
Those numbers, they match up with certain words in the story, kind of like a code.
Yeah.
So to someone else, they just look like, random numbers, but they actually guide you to the right words, the seed phrase.
So even if someone finds a story, no clue which words matter unless they have those numbers. And those numbers just seem like, well, phone numbers.
Exactly. And get this, even if they force you to give up your lucky numbers, you could give them a different set, a decoy. It's like plausible deniability.
Whoa, that's clever. What's the other way the article mentions?
The second way, it's all about GPS coordinates, like on a map.
Oh, okay.
So imagine your story talks about, let's say, a park you went to. Hidden in there, maybe in the date, the time, or just worked into the story itself, are those GPS coordinates.
Yeah.
And when you know how to decode them, they tell you exactly which words in the story are your actual seed phrase.
Wow. So the story is like a modern treasure map leading to Bitcoin instead of buried gold. You could even lose the coordinates but still find your Bitcoin if you remember the story.
You got it. And what's cool is it taps into how our brains work. We remember stories way better than random words, especially if they have emotional meaning for us.
It's true. Our brains love stories, so you're turning a weakness into a strength. It's like the ultimate brain wallet. But be honest, how safe is this really? Can someone just, like, crack the code?
That is the million-dollar question. The article's honest. It says these are just examples, not some unbreakable code. The real safety is how hidden and normal it all looks.
So it's not about being uncrackable, but more about not looking like a target in the first place.
You nailed it. It's about blending in. Remember, the whole point is to create something that doesn't make people suspicious. Even if they look closely, it can't scream, hey, I'm hiding Bitcoin secrets.
Makes sense. It's like that saying, hide in plain sight. But this is bigger than just Bitcoin, isn't it?
100%. It's about that human need for freedom, for control, especially when the world feels so uncertain. Imagine that feeling of knowing no matter what happens, you've got your wealth tucked away in a story that only you can unlock.
Makes you think about stories in a whole new light, doesn't it? They're not just entertainment. They can hold something as valuable as financial freedom.
It's this really cool mix of like history, technology, and how our brains work. Like for ages, people have used stories to pass down wisdom, to keep their culture alive,
Yeah.
even to like sneak secrets past enemies. And Trithemian seeds almost feels like that tradition evolving, adapting to our digital world.
And it reminds you that Bitcoin isn't just ones and zeros. It's about people. It's about people needing a way to protect their money, their freedom, their future, especially when things feel shaky.
Yeah, and the article ends on this really thought-provoking note. It says, it can be easy to overlook the point of Bitcoin living in a country where people trust their government. What happens to those who can't?
Wow, that really hits home. It's easy to get caught up in all the tech stuff or the investment side, but deep down, Bitcoin is offering something way bigger. A chance for anyone, anywhere, to take control of their own money, their own future.
It really makes you think, and as our world becomes more digital, what other unusual ways might we find to protect what matters to us? Our money, our freedom, all of it.
So to our listener, we'll leave you with this. As you explore the world of Bitcoin, don't just focus on the numbers or the tech side. Think about the stories, the human experiences, and how creative solutions like Trithemian seeds could change how we think about wealth and security in this day and age.
It's a wild ride, and we're just getting started. So to everyone listening, we're challenging you. Can you find this secret in this article? Maybe this will spark your interest in, I don't know, Bitcoin, steganography, even just the power of a good story, right? Whatever you take away from this deep dive, we hope it makes you think a little differently, explore some new ideas, and maybe, just maybe, look at the world with a little more curiosity.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, everybody.